Let's do another WWE 2K24 MyRise concept. This one's all about the Cult of Windham. As always, we're going to make a custom character. This one that you see on screen comes from Mr. Marco over on Community Creations. I really liked it, but I will be doing some edits as we go throughout the storyline. And I've got another one that's going to be going along with us. There's pretty much like a buddy in this one, and that buddy is brought to you by Ghost Call. In an ideal world, you'd be able to pick, choose, download your friends, rival, whatever you want to do. I know that as a alternative, you could always just make one that's like the generic buddy in game. But I think it'd be cooler if you could just make that as well and have it customizable. Anyways, you and your rival are going to start training and sparring under the guise of Andre Chase because y'all are both part of Chase University. You guys are coming in to be the new tag team representing them on NXT. I've started calling them the gold standard for Chase U. I know that that's like Shelton Benjamin's whole name and everything, so I'm sure 2K would have to come up with something better. But I really liked how these attires came out when I kind of made them like varsity and almost like fratty, so maybe it could be something with that. I don't know. Y'all can leave your suggestions down in the comments. Anyways, on NXT, you're mainly going to be feuding with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers, and then eventually we're both going to qualify for the NXT Men's Breakout Tournament. I don't necessarily think you need to like split up the team to do this, but you are going to face each other at NXT Stand and Deliver, so maybe put them in some different attires, maybe make it like a friendly rivalry type of thing. I don't know. 2K, we can talk about it later. Anyways, in the finals, you guys are actually going to go against each other at Stand and Deliver. I think it would be cool to make this like more of like a boss fight, almost like a mini boss, but I don't know, man. At the very least, put in some cool cutscenes or something at the very start. I even thought about Andre Chase being like the special guest referee since it's two Chase U members, but I don't know. They can decide on all that stuff. Anyways, you end up winning with a roll up, so you are now the NXT Breakout Superstar of the Year. How exciting! It doesn't take long to cash in. Pretty much on the next NXT, you cash in on the then North American champion, Dijak. You'll go through a little mini feud with Dijak, of course, with it, and then this is where they can start really filling in some of the side missions and everything. You know, put them against like a Briggs, Jensen, Dragon Lee, all those kinds of people. Maybe that would even justify making the NXT roster better because I think the NXT roster is really cool and they don't ever get credit. Eventually, you end up going up against Joe Gacy, and this is where you're going to lose the title. It's not actually fully about losing the title though, because Gacy in promo and on commentary they mentioned that he's been talking about a mysterious they that he keeps saying they are coming. Most people think it's a return of Schism, but as you can probably guess from the title of this video, so there's not a point in me keeping it a secret, it's not a return of Schism. It's gonna be the new Cult of Windham. Spoiler alert, Joe Gacy is not in it. He's basically just your forewarning for it as you lose the title to him. Once we lose the title, we officially graduate from Chase University. You head on up to SmackDown. On SmackDown, you can do a couple of little mini feuds and everything. Or if you want to get right into it, then we can do that as well. The first big, or not big opponent, little opponent that you face is Ashante the Adonis. You beat him, obviously, pretty easy. And then, after the match, is where we're going to get jumped by the very first member that we get to find out of the Cult of Windham. Any guesses before it comes up? It's Karrion Kross. He comes in after your match, and he basically just Jay Browns you out. They can put on commentary, start talking about it here. I think it'd be cool if we start programming people in the crowd to have sheep mask as a way to basically tease what's coming with the Cult of Windham. And as more and more join, we'll see more and more sheep mask in the crowd itself. Anyways, moving forward, you're going to be doing a little feud with Karrion Kross, and of course, he's got Scarlett out there. Whoa, did I just say Scarlet? Scarlett out there with him. I think with this, you don't want to do too many matches because that gets pretty boring pretty fast. Maybe just like one at a pay per view, and then during that match, you're going to get distracted by Scarlett along with the referee. Braun Strowman comes out and attacks you, showing that he is now aligned himself with Karrion Kross. This is the second member of the Cult of Windham. Of course, we're not calling them the Cult of Windham yet. Right now, they're just, Braun Strowman and Karrion Kross. So you need to go against them. And at first, you don't want to have any help. No one's even offering to come and help you. You're not really looking for anyone. You got to prove yourself on the SmackDown roster, so you're going to try and handle this by yourself in a 2-on-1 handicap match. But it is here at the handicap match that their leader is revealed as being Uncle Howdy. This is also where we're going to start making a new change, and we're going to start referring to them as the different cardinal sins that they're each supposed to represent. Braun Strowman, of course, is wrath. Then you got Karrion Kross, who is a lust for power, and then Sloth is Uncle Howdy himself because he blames himself and feels that he should have done more to actually spread the Cult of Windham up to this point. And this is where things get a little bit dicey. So let me just put a disclaimer. All of this is dependent on the idea of Bray's family being okay with all of this and obviously signing off on it. So none of this is necessarily meant to feel like disrespectful to Bray himself. Anyways, next episode of SmackDown, you finally get someone who's willing to help you out in Ricochet. Ricochet's gonna form like a little tag team with you. I don't know if there's gonna be like a name for it or anything like that, but at the very least, he's just willing to help you out for an episode or two. Spoiler alert, Ricochet doesn't last long because he's going to be going up against Wrath himself and Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman's gonna millie rock him. You do come out with Ricochet, but you get run off and attacked by Uncle Howdy, so the two of you brawl to the back, which leaves Ricochet all by himself. He does get the ball rolling, but then he's attacked by Cameron Grimes from out of nowhere. Grimes is a representation of greed. He has sold his soul to Uncle Howdy, and after attacking Ricochet, he and Braun Strowman carry Ricochet off. Ricochet is missing for weeks, and he eventually returns as a more dark, and I want to basically call him a fallen angel. He's going to represent envy. Uncle Howdy will explain in promos that he's envious of, Flight. He thinks he's, the human highlight reel, the man that gravity forgot. I know that's Puck. But then he'll eventually come back. He has fallen in with the Cult of Windham, and he's coming after you. I don't know what they can do to really change this up. I wanted him to kind of feel like Puma Dark from Lucha Underground. I put the double moonsault on him to seem a little cooler. And then this is where we take a branching option. Uncle Howdy is coming for you now. You are so proud, you have so much pride in yourself, and you're going to represent pride within the Cult of Windham. He needs someone to become the new vessel for the spirit of the fiend, and he wants it to be you. The question is, will you accept and join, or are you going to fight against? I'll be honest, either way, the final boss is still going to be Uncle Howdy. So, we're going to go with the storyline that you do join. You go in, you get absolutely brainwashed, and you become the kind of muscle, the face, the heavy, the leader. I don't know what you want to say. You become the actual head of the Cult of Windham. So, going forward on SmackDown, when you come back from your brainwashing, you have an entirely new look. Tattoos, face paint, the hair, the beard. You've absorbed some of the power of the fiend as it becomes part of your vessel, but in doing so, it has turned you into this. And who's going to try to stop you but your own rival? As you can see, it's still the one that I used earlier. But anyways, the one that was with you when you were in Chase U, as part of the gold standard. He's now called up to SmackDown and he wants to try to save you. Of course, you're the main character, so he ain't gonna save you. You're gonna beat that J Braun and send him back. But this all leads to the eventual power struggle. When we get to WrestleMania, it's kind of a battle for who's going to actually lead the cult. There's you, the pride of the Cult of Windham, and then there is also Bo, aka Uncle Howdy, who has absorbed more of the spirit and become the embodiment of the White Rabbit. I don't know how they could make this feel like almost more cosmic or like supernatural of a fight, but that's what I want. I don't want it to be like the match with Randy and Bray where they just put like maggots on the screen and stuff. I don't want that, but I do want it to feel like a big deal. Eventually, of course, you do win, and I kind of, basically just like Baldur's Gate. From here, you get to decide: do you disband the cult? Do you use the cult? Or do you just turn on all of it and save the day and end the cult officially? Obviously, if this was like a full game, we'd have some more side quests and everything to do, but I'm going to wrap the video up there. Shout out to the Bing AI image creator that's got all these different images on screen. I use these for a lot of my inspiration coming up with it. If you want to get good ones, say that it's an album cover and it makes ones like this. Anyways, y'all be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. And be sure to look on the channel. We are planning a giveaway of 2K24. Some more details will be coming out soon. So make sure you guys subscribe so that you can be the first to get that notification.